Claire has kindly offered to give one, didn't she?
Offered. I don't know that I offered.
Well done, Claire.
Oh, well done, Claire.
You've seen it when you go that colour before, it's amazing.
Claire, hold on. I asked you to video this. Oh, sorry. Shut up.
I've been nominated to be the voice of middle office, but please bear with me. I'm very nervous, and I haven't been nominated to do this.
Claire, don't.
You're superb.
I couldn't decide where to start, so I decided to start at my beginning with JP Morgan, which was obviously my interview. I'm sure, bearing in mind Linda's earlier speech, that there's going to be lots of similarities between lots of people's interviews.
Did you say penis too?
I didn't say penis.
You did what?
I did.
What year is it? I'm sure you're going to say.
Oh, I don't know what year.
Roughly.
A long time ago. About 17 years ago. No, not even not as long as that.
I'd love to know when you first started.
Mark.
2001.
Help me.
Something like that.
2002. I started 2003.
She'd already done the stint before then, hadn't you?
Swear
Yeah. Anyway, it was a while ago.
Back on track.
12. Anyway.
Everyone's listening.
So during my interview, Mark had gone through a little bit of the background of FX and said to me, do you know what FX is? And I was like, F what? I'm a nurse. Don't know anything about FX.
Sorry, have you still got the uniform?
He then went to go on about, do I know what about currencies? And again, a bit like how Linda was saying earlier, I didn't know the answer to that question either. Jo had arranged the role for me and thought I'd be a good match to come in with these two girls that she said, which turned out to be Anna and Lorna. Sorry, Claire.
What a bitch!
Mark went and called Anna into the meeting room. Now, I don't know whether you all remember your first meeting with Anna, but I remember this woman coming in with this wild hair, this oversized jacket, which turned out she had in every colour, and she sat down and crossed her arms. And Mark said to me, what they're going to do is you're going to be doing Reuters matching. And I was like, yeah, thinking, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he said, you're going to match about 200 trades a day. And I went, 400. I was like, okay. He said, there'll probably be about 50 errors a day. And I went, 100. I was like, okay, 100. And he went, and those errors would probably go down to about 30 or 40 traders. And I went, about 50. I was like, right. I was thinking, I thought Mark was the boss here, but obviously I got this wrong. But to this day, I think Anna really ruled roost while she was around.
Too right.
And Mark said he's got 10 inches. He went to the park.
God bless her, but she left the room and Mark carried on through the rest of my CV. And at that time it was really fashionable to have a little personal statement about your interests and hobbies. And I said that I liked to play a lot of instruments that I did at the time, and I liked reading novels and a bit about cooking. And I didn't know Mark and his history with his love of food, but obviously it was a real elbow into getting the job. And he asked me about what I'd been cooking recently. Do you remember this?
I do.
And he said to me, I said I'd been cooking a lot of foreign foods, and he said, what? And I was thinking, God, what have I been cooking? I said, samosas. I've been making samosas. So Mark said to me, meat or vegetable? So I had a thinking, this is a loaded question, I don't know what the answer is to me.
Psychosomatic.
No.
So I plumped for meat. I went, meat.
I love meat.
So
Good answer.
apparently, that got me the job. Mark told me 6 months later, if I'd said vegetable, I wouldn't have got the job.
Absolutely.
Mark, it's now the time to come clean. I've never made a samosas in my life.
Sure you have. Fill a pastry, but no.
Do you want to leave now?
So I thank you very much for taking that chance on me. It's been a big part of my life.
Bloody good chance.
And like Linda was saying, I started off on a 2-week contract, and 6 years later I was still there. 2-year gap, another 7 years later, still I was suckered into JP Morgan.
I hate you to say it. Can you just repeat that again?
Say it
I
again.
remember it. Tell me how many years, what, who? Sorry to do that.
I started on a 2-week contract.
Yeah, go on.
6 years later,
Amazing this.
I left, because you were going through the major with JP Morgan, and I was a temp.
Yeah. No, it's amazing this. Go on.
I had a 2-year gap, and came back for 7 years.
It's absolutely amazing.
But lots of people have got lots to be thankful for, Mark.
Yeah.
They've all said, there's been a common theme through everyone's feedback to you. You were always approachable, your door was always open, you were always made time for all of us. You were a very good listener, and you were very sympathetic and understanding, not only to work situations, but also to personal situations. You definitely went the extra mile. and did lots of things for lots of people around the table who would like to say thank you without going into too many sort of details and getting too sad now. You never added to people's stress, and you always stayed calm in stressful situations. I'm thinking of times we went through the merger and Lehman's with the 3 o'clock wake-up call saying, Claire, can you please come in? You were definitely a lot of help and guidance to people. I remember you providing champagne on my hen do, from turning up to visit 12 girls in their pyjamas. I can't imagine why you turned up, Mark.
Exactly. I brought the boys with me as well.
Things you do, Mark.
Oh, fair enough. So that was your cover, was it?
Yeah.
You were definitely the voice of reason. Staff would like to thank you for indulging their daily updates of food, giving you their dinner updates and sharing recipes. I think this is namely probably Joe and myself. We think you were a very avid member of keeping the gossip grapevine alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also for all the long lunches over the years, especially the overtime lunches that we've had for various farewells.
Thanks, Mark.
That's the best long shot I've had.
Believe me, the money's not in the account yet. When it is, we'll talk about it.
All of these things add in and reflect on your team, Mark. It's only due to all of these characteristics that you've put forward that have built a loyal and hard-working team. Yeah. I'm thinking of all the times when we pulled together and for Lehman's, and as I was saying, the 3 o'clock wake-up call, I put my hand on heart and say it, I wouldn't have done that for anybody. And I think a lot of people feel the same. I know that if other managers had called me and told me to come in at 3 o'clock in the morning, they wouldn't have got the response you did.
Remember that comment.
So, it brings me on to one thing that we're not thankful for, Mark. And there's one thing we think you should leave at JP Morgan. It's the hand down the pants.
Yeah,
during meetings. The slow withdrawal. And the not so subtle snip.
He's still doing that. He's still doing that. After all these
do me a
years.
favour.
My kids He's still doing this.
You don't, Mark.
You can't be, can you?
It's time to tell
At home it's alright, mate. At work.
No.
you don't have scratch and snip down your hands.
Scratch and snip.
We're not quite sure what you were smelling for. It's a bit of a rhetorical question, but was it different?
Sweaty nut stuff. Sweaty nuts.
I mean, I should have been in the zoo.
Pretty lady, which
And so,
Don't do it now, you do.
It's love now, hold on. That is just so lovely. Sorry. I'm not talking.
after 25 years, nearly,
No, 24.7.
6 mergers, and countless staff, with very many highs and a few lows, we'd like to wish you all the very best at Citibank. We're confident you'll be a huge success there. And I think in 6 months' time you'll look back and say, I should have done this 15 years ago.
Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Mark, it's been a pleasure and a privilege. And all that remains is to say thank you for everything and good luck. And please, if you could all be upstanding, to say, raise a glass to Mark, the one and only FX manager.
Mark.
Well done, Mark.
Well done, fella.
And we'll go there. Brilliant.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Good job.
Brilliant.
Well done, Claire.
Yeah.